Bear with me. I'm going somewhere with this. So, when I used to live in New York, I worked at this company called Airborne Express. It doesn't exist anymore now because DHL took it over. Airborne Express is a courier company. It's just like UPS, Federal Express, etc. You know what I'm saying? Airborne Express was located it was 33rd, East 33rd Street in Manhattan. So every morning I would get up like 9 a.m. At the time I was living with my father. So I was living in my father's house. I would get up at 9 a.m. Nobody was there. I would turn up the thermostat and radiators would come on because we didn't have central air and heat in the house. And I never forget it. You know what I'm saying? By the time I would leave, the house would be somewhat hot. You know what I mean? Warm. You know what I mean? But while in the process of me taking a shower, eating, and all that stuff, it would remain cool. Like a day like this, So, I would play my music, I would take my shower, I would eat a bagel, and I'll be out the door about 10 o'clock, right? So, I would go to the corner of Foch and Guy Brewer, basically where Baisley Park Projects is located at, right? Standing in front of Baisley Park Projects and catching the dollar van, you know what I'm saying? So I caught the dollar van. Well, used to catch the dollar van, you know what I'm saying, from that spot all the way to Jamaica Avenue. So once I got to Jamaica and Parsons, that subway station, I go downstairs, catch the E train, take the E train all the way down to 51st and Lexington, and walk up the stairs all the way to the where you can catch the 456. I would catch the 6 train. I think, if I'm not mistaken, it was either the 4 or the 6. Take the 4 to 6 down to 33rd Street, come outside, walk across the street, boom, I'm at Airborne Express. You know what I'm saying? I would work from 1 to 5, and then sometimes it'd be a little longer than 5, 6, 7, or something like that. I was not a courier like, driving trucks and stuff like that. I was more of the dude that, would walk, you know what I'm saying, and have this big thing, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know what you call them, but it's like this big box, and it had wheels on it, and I would deliver packages and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying, in that box. And every time I would go to each building, I would have to lock it up and all of that stuff, right? So I did that for a while. You understand? And on the way back, I would have to, basically repeat my, trip the opposite way. You know what I'm saying? I would get back on the 6, go up to 51st and Lexington, get out, come downstairs, go downstairs and catch the E. And then, get off Parsons and, go home. You understand? So, catch the dollar van back home. So, each time that I was on my way up and on my way back from work, it would be packed. You know what I'm saying? And I found myself at times, man, really analyzing the time that I spend to get to work and come back to work. And it was basically like a shift combined together. You know what I'm saying? I would work 5 hours, like literally work 5.5 hours, and it would take me in total to get to work and back home damn near 5 hours, 5.5 hours. When I got back home, it was fend for your own in our house, so nobody cooked. My stepmom, she cooked once out of the week. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody was busy. Everybody was on the go. You know what I'm saying? Everybody had 2 and 3 jobs and stuff like that. And if they had 2 or 3 jobs, they would go to night school. So every day, I would either order beef and broccoli or chicken egg foo young from the Chinese food restaurant. After that, I would walk my ass to the corner store, the bodega, and get some Swedish fish. I'm dead ass serious. Like, I remember this shit as if it was yesterday. I would get some Swedish fish, possibly a jungle juice, and some Funny Bones. Like the company that makes them joints is called Drake's. Some Funny Bones, and the Funny Bones was like a chocolate covering on the top, and then in the inside it was peanut butter. And I'll probably get some Wise salt and vinegar potato chips. And I did that Monday through Friday. Now, let's look at my life now. I get up. You know what I'm saying? If it's cold in the house, I turn on the thermostat to, let's say, 75. You know, we have central air and heat, so the air automatically comes out, blows out. No radiator. A couple minutes, give it a couple minutes, it's kind of warm in the house. You know, of course, the upstairs gets warm quicker than downstairs. I get up, I give the baby some, baths and shit. I go downstairs. Normally, the night before, I pack and prepare everything that I need to be straight for the next day. So I got my gym bag in the car. I have the keys in the car. I have everything in the car. Of course, everything, the car is in the garage. So can't nobody, go in the garage. I have my sneakers set right by the door. My gym sneakers set right by the door. Everything is in order. So after I give the babies a bath, baths and shit like that, I go downstairs. I take Seymour's. I drink, as of lately, for the last couple of weeks, I've been drinking beet juice, BEET juice. You know what I'm saying? And then after that, I go upstairs. I take my vitamins. I take vitamin D, supplements, vitamin D, calcium, and magnesium. Straight vegan. Take that, take a shower, get dressed, go downstairs, get in the car, drive to the gym. Today I went to Target before I went to the gym in Midtown. Picked up a couple of items. No worries in the world. Bills are paid. Ahead of time, I go to the gym because I embrace self-preservation. You have to take care of yourself. You have to maintain your health. I get in there, I work out, I go downstairs, I go to the sauna, the steam room, the hot tub. I leave there. I come back home to eat lunch, which 9 times out of 10 is baked vegetables, zucchini, red onions, mushrooms, what else? Carrots, quinoa. I sprinkle some avocado oil on it, a little bit of Himalayan pink sea salt or pink salt. Eat that, and then I have a client, you know what I'm saying? A couple minutes after that I have to train. Train that client, come back home, eat dinner about 6 o'clock. Yeah, about 6:30. I'm eating lunch about 12. Eat dinner, you know what I'm saying? After that, I might get on YouTube, I might edit a video or whatever. My day is done. And I take my black ass to sleep and do it all over again. See the difference? And this is what I'm trying to explain to you. See, the quality of life living in the South is way more different and better than living in New York. Way more. Because in New York, everything is fast paced. You gotta go, and you don't have any time to sit down and eat a meal. Everything is, when you're trying to eat, is you're ordering out because you're always on the go. Let me tell you something, man. I could count on my hands the amount of times that I've sat down with my father and ate a dinner. Straight up. And the reason why I could count on my hands with my father and just, overall my family, you know what I'm saying? My stepmom, stepsisters. The reason why I could tell you how many times, I could count on my hands that we've ate together as a family at the dinner table together. It's because everybody was always on the go. You understand? Bills have to be paid. And if you weren't working, you know what I'm saying? Well, if you weren't working 1, 2, 3 jobs, you were working one job and going to school. Everything is fast paced in New York. And, when the average New Yorker says, man, I don't want to live down south because it's too slow. Hey, they're right. They're right. Everything slows down here. And this is what I like about it. You understand? Because when you're in New York, everything is fast paced. Next thing you know what I'm saying? Like you're in your early 20s and you working for, let's say, MTA. Let's say you're driving a bus or whatever for MTA. You know what I'm saying? That's a decent job. driving a bus. You in your 20s, you know, 2-3 years pass by. Next thing you know, 10 years pass by. Next thing you know, 30 years pass by. You retired. You got two pensions. You know what I'm saying? You picked up a second job the last 5 to 8 years of you working the first job for MTA. So you were working 2 jobs. You know what I'm saying? So you got 2 different pensions coming in when you retire. But guess what? At the end of the day, your body is so fucked up. You know, your knees are hurting from driving the bus and braking and accelerating and braking and accelerating. And you got to deal with all of these people, you know what I'm saying, getting on the bus, want to get on the bus for free. You know what I'm saying? Want to sneak on the bus. All of this shit you've been dealing with for the last 30 years. While in the process of that, guess what? It's taking you an hour and a half. Let me tell you something. It is a hindrance to have a car in New York. It's best to take public transportation. Straight up. So then it's taking you an hour and a half to get to work, hour and a half to get back. It's all a hustle and bustle that you got to deal with when you're living in New York, that you don't necessarily have to deal with as much when you're living in the South. And most people don't even have homes. I forgot to mention that. It's like you're not living in a home. Most New Yorkers are living in like tenant buildings. You know what I'm saying? Staying on the 15th, 17th, 8th floor. Or let me go as far as to say that they may be living in a co-op building. At the end of the day, it's still an apartment. It's not a house. And most of those buildings, the landlord regulates your heat. Most of those buildings, there's no central air and heat. There's radiators. And if you want to keep cool for the summer times, you have to buy a box unit in order to cool off your house. I know, because when I was living with my father, you know, he lived in a house. You know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, one box unit is not going to cool off the whole house. It's just not. So you're going to have to get 2. You're going to have to get a box unit in each room. That's when that shit gets expensive. Spending that many a days to turn on the air conditioning and having to close the door. And the rest of the house is hot as shit, but it's that one room, which of course was my father's room, the master bedroom, kept cool. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, you are staying on the 17th floor. You ain't got control of your damn heat. You gotta, when you buy air conditioning, you gotta buy a box unit. You know what I'm saying? You gotta make sure that shit is closed, the window's closed tightly or whatever. Hopefully it won't be no gates over the window or whatever, so you can put the box unit in there. That shit is crazy. Then if you're living in a high-rise building, a projects, co-op building, or whatever have you, fire, goes off or some shit on the 3rd floor, there's no fire escapes. There's no fire exits. There's just a elevator that always stay broke, that they don't never fix, and the goddamn stairs. Oh, it's like really dangerous to live in New York nowadays, man. Look what happened in the Bronx. All those people got killed. And then like a couple of days after that, I don't know if it was in the Bronx, but it was somewhere else in New York where 2 other people got killed because of a fire. They couldn't get out. Look at all of the gangs and shit that's going on, especially in the Bronx and Brooklyn, listening to that drill music. And then it's like Bloods and Crips, and then the Bloods and Crips are like, I was cool with a dude, you know what I'm saying, from Brooklyn. He was a Crip, but he was like I don't know how to put it. Like I'll say it like this. So if the Crips was like the umbrella, there was like subsidiaries, you know what I'm saying, under that shit. So he wasn't necessarily a direct Crip, but he was connected somehow to the Crip. And then he had some Bloods that he was cool with. It's just a big mess, man. It's a big mess, and that's the reason why I'm not up there. You know what I'm saying? The weather is horrendous, especially for African Americans. Like, we pretend that we don't like the heat or we don't like the fucking sun, but we need that shit. We need it. You wonder why your kids that's of a darker hue, you know what I'm saying, is walking around here with rickets, their legs bent in. Why? Because they're vitamin D deficient. If anyone needs that sun on this planet more than anyone else, any other race, it's black people. So you need that sun. You definitely need to be more closer to the equator. You wonder why you going outside bitching and complaining and being mean and don't know why. Oh, I know. It's a thing called aura infringement. You have people living above you, on the left-hand side, on the right-hand side, on the bottom of you. One building houses anywhere from hundreds to 1,000 or more tenants. And you have to deal with all of those type of attitudes. Then after that, you walk outside in the cold and shit, trying to get to work. You may have children. You gotta, make sure your children get to school. Yo, man, should I go on? Or don't you already know that, New Yorkers, how your day goes? I can tell you, man, I have my problems. I'm not gonna lie, like anyone else. But I can honestly say that I'm at peace. And if I have to sit down and meditate, right? Or practice grounding, you know what I'm saying? And sun gazing. For those that know the science to all of that, you already know. I can. Because I have the time to do it. My life has slowed down. And I don't have to abide by hood rules anymore, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was a big thing in the 90s. I don't know if it's changed in New York, men couldn't wear flip-flops, open-toe sandals. And I'm sitting here like, yo, you gotta be kidding me. So you mean to tell me that if I'm in the hood, I gotta abide by these rules? So I gotta wear what you call uptowns, dunks, you know what I'm saying, or 10 boots, year long? That's crazy to me. In the summertime, I don't have to worry about that type of shit because I live in a suburban area. And when I get hot, I could wear shorts, flip-flops. Not lying, this year I'm gonna wear them Jamaican tank tops with the holes in them. I don't know what they call them, but I'm gonna find them online. I'm gonna wear them shits. For real, that's my word. Because it's all about staying cool. And New York is the concrete jungle with little to no trees. Down south is trees everywhere. It's crazy how I hear like a lot of New Yorkers come down here and they be like, yo, man, I don't even want to stay here anymore, B. It's trees everywhere, bees, bugs, and this and that. I'm like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? So you mean to tell me you don't want to be around nature? You don't want to embrace nature? You want to still go to Coney Island? That dirty ass water? You know what I'm saying? Because New York is full of pollution. The water's fucked up. The air is damn near unbreathable. I'm not making this shit up, and I'm not trying to disrespect New York. I know for a lot of you all, millions of you all, it's a place where you call home. But let me tell you something. For all you African Americans, for all you minorities, you should make the South your new home. Because you are definitely connected to nature. And you've been away from your real, true home for far too long. And you cannot sit here and tell me with a straight face that living the way that you live every day is better than the way that I live. Because the way that I live is all about self-preservation, family, love, embracing nature. Tell me something that's in New York that's far more better than what I just named. And I'm not saying you can't get that in New York. You get a piece of it. Just a piece. You can get some of that. I've been to Prospect Park numerous times. I've seen people sun gaze and drown themselves, and you know, all the conscious people and shit. You know, they have festivals and shit out there, but Prospect Park is Prospect Park. Central Park is Central Park. Now, after that is just a concrete fucking jungle. Why not? And I'm not telling you to move here. I'm not even specifically telling you to move to Charlotte. I'm just saying, once you make an exodus and move to the south, period. No particular place, just move to the south, where life is a lot more better. Yeah, I hear New Yorkers talk about some, you know, they don't pay as much and there's no unions and this and that and so forth. Let me tell you something, no disrespect whatsoever. In 2022, if you're relying on one job, in other words, if you're putting all your apples in one basket, there's a problem, like up here, because there's nothing stable with a job, one job. Like in 2022, you're supposed to be a hustler. You're supposed to be making, bringing in income, and you're supposed to have several streams of income in order to, you know what I'm saying, live the way that you want to live. So you don't have to worry about unions. You don't have to worry about somebody underpaying you when you're paying yourself. There's people out here that's living like kings and queens in the South. And they tell me all the time, yo, why you keep on trying to tell these niggas to move down here? They gonna fuck it up for everybody. And I'm like, yo, man, you know what, you're right, but at the end of the day, man, possibly fuck it up for everybody. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody that's from New York is not on some dumb shit. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, like, I always tell them, like, yo, man, it just don't feel right, me living like this and knowing that I can put somebody on to game and they could possibly live the same way that I live. I pay $1,605 for a 3-bedroom, upstairs 2-story. 3-bedroom, 2-story house, garage, front yard, backyard. I just think about that. Some of you all are paying that and living on the 17th floor and don't even have half of the amenities that I have. And I say amenities because really, they're not amenities down here. This is basic, you know what I'm saying? Everybody has central air and heat. Everybody's able to control their air and heat down here. You know what I'm saying? This is basic. Just about everybody on my block has a garage. Just about everybody on my block has a front yard and a backyard. Just about everybody on my block has a dishwasher. Can you say the same? Living in New York on the 13th floor. Some of you all in the projects. All right, man. I've spoke my piece, man. You know what I'm saying? The quality of life living down here in the South, man, it's just wonderful, man. You know what I'm saying? It gets hot around April. Probably a little earlier than that, like the end of March starts getting a little warm or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Our winters are mild. Like right now is what, January 19th or something like that. It's like 57. Even though they talking about like a snowstorm, you know, this Saturday coming up. But it's gonna be bullshit, just like how this one was. You know what I'm saying? It snowed Sunday and it started melting Monday. And now it's like little to no snow around here. It's gonna be the same shit, you know? And let me say this last thing, you know, for those that, for New Yorkers that talk about the racism, you know, there's 2 races down south, this and that, so forth. I've already covered that, you know? There's racism everywhere. You know, let me, do I have to say this again? Do we have to talk about Amadou Diallo, Sean Bell, Eric Garner? Do we have to? You understand? So there's racism everywhere. As long as there's white racist people where you live at, around this planet, there's going to be racism everywhere. So there's no excuse. You understand? That plain and simple. Hey, man, it is what it is. I'm just here to help. Other than that, I want you to like, comment, subscribe, and definitely share this video.